In the previous video, in the previous part, the first part, we have knit all the let's say setup rows for the shawl that go from row number 1 to row number 76. So that's a lot of setup rows. This is how this part of the shawl looks like until now. So now I stopped at row 76. And in this part of the video, we will knit the rows that you have to do, that you have to repeat to knit the actual shawl. So all of these are knit just once. You knit them and forget about them. And now we will start the rows that you'll remember because you will knit them over and over until you run out of yarn or you decide to stop because you have the desired length of the shawl. So let's start row number 77. And since I have these small double pointed needles, I guess I will do, at this point I will pass to my circulars. So there you go. If you want to, you can stick to the double pointed, or maybe you can start on the circular from the beginning. There's no difference. For me it's harder with these ones because usually the other one can get on the table and make some noise. So these small ones are easier to do on video, but I will have more and more stitches, so I decided to start now. So as I said, we start row number 77. Maybe I'll explain first what we have to do. So in the beginning we have the left slant decrease, just as we did in the previous rows. If you didn't watch that, I will put the link here in somewhere, and you can click on that and see and watch the first part first. Watch it and knit it. So when you get to this part, you have to have already this piece and then go continue knitting. So like I said, we have this left slant decrease in the beginning. After that we have a brioche knit, and then we have the increase, and I want you to pay attention to this black frame that I have here. So in every row we have this part that is inside it, especially for the rows with the increases and decreases. With where we have the brioche knitting, that's no difference. So but here right now that we are knitting the first time this part, it doesn't matter because I will show you what you have to knit. So you have on the chart all the stitches that you have on the needle, but after you knit all the rows, you get to the row 108, and then you have to repeat again from row 77. You will have more stitches. You will have to repeat this part inside of the frame 2 times. When you repeat that again. When you repeat them 2 times, again knit all the rows and repeat everything 2 times in every row, you will start again and you will repeat 3 times, so on and so on. So you have to pay attention what we need before this. Then you will, I guess, I don't know how it will be for you, but for me, I remember this repeat especially because it is the same in every row. So from row 77 to 108, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows with increases and decreases, and this part is the same for all the rows. So we have the decrease, brioche knit, and increase, and you repeat that again and again. And if you don't know how many times you have to repeat that, you just repeat it, and in the end, when you start, you want to repeat it again. Instead of having 4 brioche knit columns, 2 for the decrease, 1 for the brioche knit, and 1 for the increase, you'll have only 2 brioche knit columns. You'll see that you don't have enough stitches. So when you have only 2 brioche knit columns after ending this one of the repeats here, you'll know that you have to brioche knit, increase, and then knit the edge stitch. So you'll know that you knit all the repeats, and you have to do this part in the end. So I'll explain now when I'm knitting, so it will be clearer. Let's start. So as I said, we have to, well, I knit the edge stitch, slip on yarn over, and in the beginning we have the left slant decrease. So slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So this is the part in the beginning. Even this one is kind of, if you want to understand the chart, you can see here this part, and maybe it will be easier. So in every row we have, in every of these 4 rows, important rows for all the, we have totally 8 that we have in the chart here. In total that's 32, because we have rows 2, 3, and 4 that you don't see. So 32. From these 32, only 4 are important. Only in 4 we have increases and decreases. And as you can see, even for these 4, there's a rule, let's say like that. We start with the decrease. After that, in the first row, we have brioche knit and increase. In the next row, we have 2 brioche knit and increase. In the next row, we have 3 brioche knit and increase. And in the last one, we have 4, the decrease, 4 brioche knit columns, and then the increase. And after you knit this part, and you know that after, only this is important to see in this row. After this, you have to repeat this part, the panel, the repeating panel for each row. Decrease, brioche knit, increase. Decrease, left slant decrease, brioche knit, increase. So if I would be at the more advanced point of knitting the shawl, and I would have, let's say, more stitches than I have now, I would knit this part, and from this point I know that I have to knit this left slant decrease, brioche knit, increase many times until I have in the end only 5 stitches left. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 5 stitches, I mean stitches with the yarn over, are counted as 1. So at this point I know I have to stop the repeat. So now I have just 1 here, but if I have more, I repeat them, as I said, over and over. And even if you are starting to do the repeat again, and you start to do you will do only the decrease, and you have no more stitches to do the rest. So you have to correct your mistake and do the brioche knit and the increase. So let's knit the repeat. So slip one yarn over, and here is the actual repeat. As I said, is a left slant decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So this is, and let's slip one yarn over, and this is the whole repeat from this point to this point. See, between my nails. You repeat this over and over and over, and then in the end you have to brioche knit. When you get to this point and you have just these few stitches, 5 stitches, you know that you have to brioche knit, slip on yarn over. Here we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and knit the edge stitch. So just like in the first part, after each row that I show you in the chart, you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4. So if you okay, let me show you them again, because this way you don't have to, you can rewind this video and knit them. So row number 2 looks like this. You slip purlwise with yarn in front the edge stitch. After that, the repeat for this row is brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and repeat again and again, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl. Here where we have the increases, we slip on yarn over, purl instead of brioche purl. Don't forget about that. Slip on yarn over, continue, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over. Again we have the increase, so instead of brioche purl we have just purl, and then again slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and again we have the increased stitches, so it's purl, not brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, and slip purlwise with yarn in front the edge stitch. So that was what I call row number 2. Now we turn the work and we knit row number 3. Well, actually it's row number 79, but for me it's row number 3. It's easier to explain, easier to remember. After each row in the chart you just knit rows 2, 3, and 4. So this is row number 3. We purl the edge stitch, and the repeat is slip on yarn over, brioche purl, and we repeat it again and again. Here no exceptions for the increases like in the previous row. So slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, again and again. Over, brioche purl, slip on yarn 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 over, and purl the edge stitch. And now we slide the stitches to the other end of the needle. That's what I was talking about when I was saying that the reason why I started with the double pointed. The circulars are kind of more difficult. So, on video I mean. In row number 4, we slip purlwise the edge stitch with the yarn in the back, and then we start the repeat, brioche knit, slip on yarn over. So, the repeat, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, just repeat it until you knit all the stitches and you have the solid stitch in the end. Brioche knit, slip on yarn over, 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 brioche knit. And in the end we have to slip purlwise with yarn in the back the solid stitch. So these are the rows 2, 3, and 4 that you have to repeat. And just like in the first part, we have here the row number 81, and then row number 89, and then 97 and 105. are the rows where we have to just brioche knit all the columns. I will show you just to refresh your memory. So we knit the edge stitch, slip one yarn over, and then we just brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over. So it's kind of like a repeat for these rows 2, 3, and 4, only it's different. We just brioche knit. In row number 4 we did brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and here we start with a slip one yarn over and then we brioche knit. So kind of the same repeat as the previous row, only in the order of the stitches. The stitch we start with a slip one yarn over. So brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and in the end we knit the edge stitch. And after this row again you knit rows 2, 3, and 4. I showed you already how you have to knit them. So you do that, and then I will show you how to knit row number 85. So in row number 85, just like in the previous row, we start with the left slant decrease, and then we have 2 brioche knit columns, not one like in the previous one. Then we have the increase, and then we have again this part that we have to repeat inside of this row. When you repeat this row the next time, you will do this twice, then thrice, and so on. So you repeat this part that you see inside this black frame until you have only 5 stitches left on your needle. So let's do it. Knit the edge stitch and then slip one yarn over. Here in the beginning we have the left slant decrease as usual, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, and then I have to knit these 2 stitches, brioche knit them together, and then pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and slip one yarn over, and at this point we start this part that I was saying about. So we are at this point here, and we have to repeat this segment over and over. So let's do it. Now we do it just once, but after that you will repeat it. So we start with the left slant decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, then knit together, brioche knit together the next 2 stitches, and then pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over. Here we do the increase, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, and slip one yarn over, and this is the end of this repeating part. It's even easy to remember. Decrease, brioche knit, increase. So that's what you have to repeat. Decrease, brioche knit, increase. And then in the end we have only 2 brioche knit columns left, and we brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and in the last one we increase. Brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, knit the selvage stitch, and that's it for this row. After that, as usual, just like I showed you in the previous row, you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then you get to the row number 89, and I showed you already in this video even how you brioche knit all the columns, just like in row number 81. You brioche knit everything. After that you knit again rows 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll meet you when you have to knit row number 93. In row number 93 we start again with a decrease, 3 brioche knit stitches, increase, then we have this part, the repeating part, decrease, brioche knit, increase, and we have again the end part, brioche knit, increase. So let's start knitting all of this. Knit the edge stitch, slip one yarn over, here we do the left slend decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next stitches, 2 stitches together, and pass over the slip stitch. After that, slip 1 yarn over, and in this row we brioche knit 3 columns at this point. 1, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip 1 yarn over, and here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that we have and slip 1 yarn over, and here we have that repeat part. And I wanted to tell you something. When you are going to repeat this part, these rows, how I did it, maybe you can do it easier and follow the chart or the rows, or have a row counter or something. I guess at some point I didn't have it. So what I did to know at which row I stopped, I just counted here in the beginning what I did. So for example, here we have decrease, then 4 brioche knit, 3 brioche knit stitches, and increase, and then we'll have again the decrease for the repeat. So this part, the beginning part, all the stitches before the next decrease, so we have the decrease in the beginning, and then we'll have the decrease at some point. So you can count, you can see, well, maybe you don't want to, maybe I'm complicating things explaining this, but maybe someone will get some use out of it. So you have to understand how many stitches you have here in between the decrease and the increase, and you will know at which row, at which point you are, because this is the difference between, like I said, I think I said it, this is the difference between all these rows that we have to repeat. We have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 brioche knit stitches between the decrease from the beginning and then the increase at some point. So when you start the row, for example, like I did, if I didn't need it and I had to start this row, I would look what I had previously done. So I have decrease, 2 brioche knit stitches, and then increase, and then we have the next decrease. So that's what is what you have to look at: decrease, 2 brioche knit stitches, and increase. So we see that decrease, 2 brioche knit stitches, increase is row 85. So I know that now I am at row 93, because I was knitting this without a row counter, without the chart. I just remembered this repeat and this part in the beginning. So actually I remembered every point of the chart, because you actually do the same thing. So in the beginning you just do and I can tell you another secret. You have to, or you can see at which point. No, that would be even more complicated. So if you want to, you can see like this and just understand at which row you are. So if you don't have a row counter, somehow you lost your notes or something, you don't know at which row you stopped, you can do it like this if you are already and in this part of the repeating rows, because before that's another thing. But here in the repeating rows, this is the rule goes like this: decrease, some brioche knit columns in between, and then the increase. So this part is the important one: how many you have. You count them, you see at which row you stopped, and then you go and knit the next one. So let's knit the repeat part. That is the same, just like in the previous row. We start with the decrease, a left slend decrease. So slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit 1 column, slip yarn over, and we do the increase here: brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and then we have to, if you are repeating this row, you have to repeat again and again this part, and you start from here, decrease, brioche knit, increase. You start from here and you go to here, and you repeat again and again, and in the end, when you have only 5 stitches left, you do the following: brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here the increase: brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and knit the edge stitch. So this was row 93. After that, you knit rows 2, 3, 4. After that, you knit in row number 97, you brioche knit all the stitches, and then again you knit rows 2, 3, 4, and I will show you how to knit the row 101, but actually you already know it. It's like the previous, like this one, only instead of brioche knitting 3 columns here, you will brioche knit 4, but I will show you how to do it. So meet you there. So in row 101, we start with a decrease, then we have the 4 brioche knit columns, increase, and then we have this repeating part, like I said, decrease, 1 brioche knit, increase. You repeat that again and again. In the end, you do brioche knit and increase, just like in the previous rows. And as I said, I was trying to explain previously how you can see at which point you stopped. Now we see here in the end you have all the brioche knit stitches, so it's not interesting. You follow and see where you have the last decrease. So decrease, 1, 2, 3, increase. So this corresponds to our row number 93. Decrease, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we know that now we are at row 101. And how you know that you are at row 101 and not at row 97, where you have to brioche knit everything? Because after the increase, so here from this V part, here we have 3 brioche knit stitches. So if you do the row number 93, and then you do rows 2, 3, 4, usually I don't stop at rows 2, 3, 4. When I have to stop at some point in the evening when I'm knitting, I knit all the rows, and I stop before this first row when I have to do the increases and decreases. So this like this, I know that I finished all the 4 groups, and I have to start a new one. So if you did all the rows 2, 3, and 4, and you stopped and you stopped after that, you will have, after the increase, you will have only 1 stitch here. So you see that when you have the increases and these V's are with the short legs, you know that you stopped before all brioche knit row. If the V from the increase has 3 stitches, 3 knit stitches, you know that you have to start an increase and decrease row. So now we are at row 101, and let's start knitting it. First we knit the edge stitch, after that slip on yarn over, and here as usual we do the left slant decrease. So slip, knit twice, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4 columns, 4 stitches, and in between we do the slip on yarn over. So brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over. After that, we do the increase, and you see, that's what I wanted to say and then stopped. You see that the decrease goes just above the increase in this row goes above the decrease from the previous row. See, we're doing the decrease above the increase, decrease above the increase. So If you this way you can control, verify yourself and see that you didn't mess up anything, that you are doing everything right. If this the increase goes above the decreased stitches. So we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over, and here, as usual in these rows, we have to do that repeat, and it goes like this. Brioche, left slant decrease, so we slip knit twice, brioche knit together the next two stitches, pass over the slipped stitch, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over, and this is the whole repeat, just like in every row. Decrease, brioche knit, increase, and slip one yarn over in between. And when you have 5 stitches left, just like in the previous rows, you brioche knit, slip one yarn over, increase, that means brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and then knit the edge stitch. So this is kind of the last row that I wanted to show you. See that after this row you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4. Then you knit row 105 when you brioche knit all the columns. After that you knit rows 2, 3, and 4 that are the same as, well, rows 106 and 7 and 8 that are just like rows through 2, 3, and 4. And after that you have to start from row number 77. Like I said, the rows where you see this black frame, these are the rows that you have to repeat, 77 to 108. And when you will knit the row 77 again, you will knit the decrease, brioche knit 1, increase, and then you will have this part. You see, even now we can do it. So we have these 2 stitches for the decrease, brioche knit, increase, and here we will start this repeat for the repeat in the row, and we'll do decrease, brioche knit, increase. Now I have here the increase, so you don't see it. Well, so, and the next time when you will knit the row number 77, you will knit 2 times this part. So you start here, you knit everything, and here you knit 2 times this part, and then when you have in the end you have 5 stitches left, you knit this one. And this will be the same thing to do for every row that I showed you now. So this is what my beginning of the shawl looks like. And you'll see here this repeating part, all these increases and decreases above one another. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and push the notification button so you will know when I post another video. Brioche or not brioche, we'll see.